Buongiorno everybody, and welcome to another episode of Cucina Quarantena. Today we are studying Romania, and we're getting to know some of the most favorite foods that they serve on the Romanian table. My favorite one is an eggplant dip. So we're going to start off today by just roasting up some eggplants, and I'll show you how to turn these into the most traditional dip that you'll see everywhere in Romania. So let's head over to the grill. The reason we're doing this as a pre-recorded lesson is because it takes time. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by just putting whole eggplants. I've stabbed them a little bit, but other than that, they're just whole and nothing done to them at all. We're going to put these onto a hot grill. So I have the grill on high right now. It's nice and smoking. And I'm going to put them right onto the grates and leave them here for 40 minutes at least, maybe even an hour. I'll come back later on and see, because basically at that point they should kind of shrivel and collapse. I'm not peeling them because once they are done barbecuing, theoretically, it should be easy to peel them when they're done. Now this is the traditional one. It's just roasted eggplant with maybe a little bit of garlic. I'm going to add red pepper just to give it a little bit of extra oomph. And I'm also going to try something unusual. I'm going to try sticking a whole onion, unpeeled, on here to see if we can actually get this to sort of caramelize in its shell. The thing about this eggplant dip is that it is different every single place that I go in Romania, which means that people customize it however they want. They put in onion, they put in garlic, they put in paprika, whatever they like. But you can kind of customize for yourself. This is going to be our choice. And here's where we'll start. Throw things on the grill and we wait for 40 minutes. So we'll see you in 40 minutes.
How could people reproduce this without the grill?
Without a grill, you could put it in your oven. Okay, it's been about 40 minutes. So here we are. We have our eggplant. We've got our wonderfully roasted red pepper. By the way, I should have actually just tossed a whole bunch of these on here because it's fun to just roast them and then peel them and then stick them in oil in your fridge. So this one we're going to blend up and add into this eggplant puree. The onion, I'm not sure that this did anything to, but this was just an experiment to see if we could soften up, because the recipe actually calls for raw onion, but I thought a cooked onion might be better. And then these are the eggplants, which, if you look on the side that was down on the grill, I've turned them a few times, but this is getting kind of papery, so that means that this skin is going to come off really easily. All right, we are now done. We've pulled our vegetables off the grill, and here's what we've got. The onion actually kind of worked. It's all squishy on the inside. I'll be interested to see what it looks like when we cut it open. We have 2 eggplants, nice and squishy and cooked, and then a red pepper. So I'm going to start with the red pepper because this one's really easy how you prepare this. I'm going to take it over to my sink, and I'm just going to run it under water, and the skin just sort of comes right off. It's nicer to do this when it's hot because it comes off easier than once it's cooled. But yeah, you can see that there's like a papery skin, and we want to get rid of that papery skin, and we just want the meat underneath. And while I'm at it, I'm just going to pull the top out and wash all of those little seed bits out of the center of the pepper. Now the red pepper, again, this is a deviation from like the original recipe. Some people put this in here, but this is just a blank slate that you can kind of dress up however you want. I like red peppers, and I think it'll add a nice smoky sweetness. Okay, so that's done. Let's go back over here. I'm just going to drop it right into my Vitamix. And now let's see what happened with the eggplants. Oh boy, the skin is just coming right off. Super easy. Cut off that top. Very simple. Some people say that you should take it now and you should let it drip a little bit, but I actually brought these into the house maybe a half an hour ago, so they've already had time to release some of their juices. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just be bold and toss my roasted eggplant in here, and I've got 2, so I'm going to do a second one. The original recipe just basically calls for 2 eggplants, salt, pepper, olive oil, and if you want to put in a little bit of lemon, you can. So onion is commonly called for in some of the different versions that I've looked at. but it's raw. And I do not remember having any kind of raw ingredients in this dip. So I think this is, what we're doing is going to be a lot closer. What's kind of fun is that this is sort of like the hummus of, I mean, theoretically it's baba ganoush, I guess, but it is the hummus of Romania because you see it everywhere and they have all kinds of different things you can dip in it. But when you sit down at a restaurant in Romania, a traditional one, they usually have this already on the table like chips and salsa. They put this and some bread out. It's their most well-known thing. And boy, did I get so used to it. It was so yummy, like the thing I look forward to the most. Okay, doesn't that look disgusting? It does.
Alien brain.
It does. It's like, oh, I've never seen eggplant look exactly like that before. All right, and now here is the mysterious one, an experiment. I thought, wouldn't it be fun to try roasting a whole onion and see if that would turn it into like caramelized onion paste? And indeed, it did. It worked exactly the way I hoped. And it smells like caramelized onion. So I'm just gonna pull off the skin and let's just cut this in half because I worry it won't mash properly.
Actually, there's this interesting thing that I saw that was apparently back like 200 years ago, what they would do is they would put the onions in the oven like a baked potato and then just have that.
I can see why. I mean, look how good that smells. Do you want to take a bite and see what you think?
Yeah, totally.
Here, you take a little folio of that and have a bite. It's good smelling. All right, so I could do garlic, but
it's like a sweet treat.
Is it? It's like chips, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay, so now I'm going to pour some olive oil in here. And now we're going to put it into the Vitamix and see if we can make this work. Here we go. Easy enough. There we go. It's starting to look correct. I'm going to mix it around just a little bit with the spoon. It smells great. And this was so incredibly easy, but we're not quite done. The consistency is kind of up to you. I saw a lot of different variations on the consistency. Some of them, it was a kind of hummus consistency, like a real puree. Other ones, it was more chunky. So you can have fun putting whatever you want in and mixing it the way you want. Yeah, we're getting pretty close. I'm gonna have a little taste and see if I need to put something else in. It's really good. It needs salt. And I would put garlic in too because I love garlic in everything, but I think I'm gonna skip it this time. Smells pretty good. I'm gonna taste it and then let you taste it. Oh yeah. All right, here you go. You taste it.
That's really good.
That's really good. I know. So that's pretty much as simple as this dish gets. Get yourself a pretty little bowl and pour in your hummus or baba ganoush or Romanian eggplant dip. So you can just pour it in like this, and then you can serve this with crusty bread, or you can serve it with crackers, or you could dip celery in there. You're gonna want to dip your shoe in there. It's so good. So there you go, Romanian eggplant dip. Again, the recipe is simply 2 roasted eggplants, 1 roasted red pepper, 1 whole roasted onion, salt, and olive oil. And there you have it, a new dish for your family gatherings. So thanks for joining us for another Cucina Quarantena, and thank you to the cameraman, my son Luca, who will now be eating this entire bowl. We'll see you again next time. Ciao!